But at least I
Pep it up.
I know. I'm like, I'm losing all my money. Fun. Love that. Okay, welcome back to another episode of So Glad We're Friends. I'm Maggie.
I'm Devin.
I'm Brittany. How did I do, guys?
That was so fast.
You guys, they said that they've been editing out a like full-on like pause every fucking episode. We're gonna have like a compilation of me just being like,
That's what's so funny. It's like the audience doesn't even know fully.
Oh yeah,
how long you pause.
You guys cut it. We'll work on it. That will be a 0-second pause. Watch it still be like a full.
You have to start talking in your head like while I'm still saying my name. Like there's a delay between your brain and your voice. I've realized with this. So like I will start talking while Maggie's still saying her name. Okay. But it comes out after.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on it.
Okay, well, today we are doing a listener Q&A and answering your guys' questions and advice. But first, I feel like I really need to hear about Devon's trip.
I know.
Yeah.
We need all the details.
Love your dress, first of all. Love all your new outfits.
I was thinking since I would be talking about it, I would just throw this dress on to like correlate all the content.
Love that.
Or I was going to wear my pajamas and I was like, no.
Both good options.
Not going to do that. So yeah, I went on a brand trip. Well, no, it's a creator trip. So my talent management company, so like they manage influencers for people who have no idea what I'm even talking about. For what do they say on SmartList? Sean Hayes' sister.
Yeah,
for Tracy in Wisconsin.
For Tracy in Wisconsin.
I finally heard, by the way, went to the episode where they first discussed that. And it's Maya Rudolph's episode, if you guys are curious.
Oh my god, I love that one.
Minute 20-ish. Not that I like documented it, but I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, that was a really great episode. Okay, so yeah, my management
is like our moms that we talk to our moms listening.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people who have no idea. I mean, we got a lot of questions in the last episode about what even influencing is.
For sure. It's cool to know the behind the scenes.
Yeah. So yeah, my managers own an agency and they have a bunch of influencers planned the first creator meetup in Austin, Texas. So it was like a brand trip where they worked out deals with the hotel and the city and restaurants and stuff so that we had a hotel room each to stay in for free and we got free dinners and it was like really well planned out. Like it was so cool. They gave us like goodie bags with sweat sets and a bunch of fun stuff. And it was in Austin, Texas, and this is the first one that they've ever done. So we've been talking about it for like a year and I've been like obviously saying that I'm going to go, but like really scared about it. But I really wanted to go to Austin. I really want to put myself out of my comfort zone. I really wanted to go. It was kind of my goal to go on a brand trip this year, but I didn't.
That's also a lot of build up.
Like, yeah.
A whole year to like think and like be in your head and be like, okay, we're going to go on this.
And then know all the people going and like.
And for a while they were like talking about different location ideas. And one of their ideas was Scottsdale. So I was like, oh, that would be really easy for me if they did Scottsdale. But then once they decided on Austin and like they planned this whole itinerary, so they sent out the itinerary and I was like, oh, fuck, this is real. Like I have to book my plane ticket now. Like I've been saying I'm going to do this.
Wait, so did they pay for your plane ticket or was that?
They reimbursed up to $250. So my ticket, I think I paid $100 extra on my ticket.
Yeah, probably more than $250.
Yeah. Because I waited so long to book it too because I was scared. And I was like, am I really going to do this? Once I booked the ticket, there's no going back. So yeah, I was so freaking nervous. Also, I have a lot of travel anxiety. So I think that's like the biggest thing for me, honestly.
When you're like anxious traveling, like what are your thoughts? Like what are you?
I'll be like putting myself in the future. Like I'm living in the future, imagining myself sitting on an airplane and just being like miserable.
Okay.
Or like,
so it's like the
not
flight
being able to sleep at night. Or like imagine if I'm there and or like I just imagine myself in all of the future scenarios and miserable.
Yeah.
And so I'm
Not
like, I don't
sleeping
wanna
is
do
the
that.
worst. Like anticipating that you're not going to be able to sleep, and then like you know that you won't be able to sleep, and then you just keep telling yourself that.
I just like Instacart ZQL now. If
That
I
stuff
That is
doesn't work for
fine.
me. Like I realized that
Exhausting.
like when I'm trying to sleep, my cortisol is so high
yeah,
at
you
night
can't get anything.
that like, and like I'll sleep, but I won't go through my normal like REM cycles
you're like
and
half
stuff.
awake the whole night.
Yep.
That's a horrible. I hate
So
that type of sleep.
I didn't sleep like the whole time, but other than that, it
Dang,
was
running on
okay.
vibes.
Yeah. And so like the morning of, I was like, I just have to do this. Like I was scared. And once I landed in Austin and I had to go find the like stupid Uber pickup and I
That's
had to
very
Uber, like
scary.
it was all, I was in a really bad mood and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait until this is over. Like I'm so done with this. And then I get to my hotel. I was like, okay, this is nice. And then I get to my hotel room and I'm like, holy shit, this is so cool. So like that lifted my spirits a lot. I had a really cool view. I had my, like, it was just really nice and I was excited. And I just kind of hung out and started drinking because the hotel gave me a bottle of champagne.
Were you like,
all by yourself?
talking to the girls while you're traveling and once you get to the hotel and stuff? Because like I would be scared of like running into people in the hall or like
I was scared of that. I didn't run into anyone. The only person I saw before is my manager came and brought me my like little goodie bag, but I was getting ready. And so she was like, I'll let you get ready. Like I was late every single time for everything. But the first happy hour was at my hotel, which was nice. And I was so scared because I am not good at small talk. Like I can't, like, you know, I feel like this kind of stems from middle school when you would like try to be a part of a group and they'd be like, what are you doing here? We didn't invite you.
Mm-hmm.
So like I kind of have that feeling of like just walking up to a group of girls that are already talking, like
they're
going to be scary. Like, what are you, excuse me, we're in the middle of a conversation. What are you doing? You know? Yeah. So, but I was like vlogging and that made me feel better. Like just talking to my camera and like trying to make videos.
Was it scary to vlog like in front of them though at first?
But
oh, okay. That's interesting.
I wasn't really talking to my phone in front of them, but like while I was getting ready or like while I was walking to the pool or whatever.
You had like a task to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like you're talking to people too. Like and you're thinking of what they'll reply.
Yeah.
I think that arriving early to events, I used to think arriving late to events was like better than arriving early. And I actually think arriving early is better because then you're almost like forced to start talking to somebody because like you're the only two people there.
You don't have to try to wedge yourself in.
Yeah. Because that's more awkward to me than like just talking to the only other person that's there. Like you don't have any other options.
Yeah.
So I think if you have like social anxiety for like groups of people and stuff, try and go earlier. That was like, so I forgot where I heard that from, but then I like tried it a couple times and it definitely holds true, I think.
That makes sense. I was not early. I wasn't late or late the last one there, but I wasn't early. There's a lot of people there. So I walked up and I first saw my manager, luckily not my main manager, but like the owner,
the pregnant one. Oh, no.
That's my main manager.
Okay.
Sophie.
Was she there?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw Ashley Fox, which is one of the like founders. And she like greeted me and she's like, these are the people from Visit Austin. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like I have to like represent myself well for these brand people. So I was talking to her for a little bit and then she's like, I know your brand is to like be an introvert, but you should go mingle with people. And I was like, don't call me out. Then I walked over to my other manager, Jared, and I was just talking to him. And I was like, okay, I really need to go talk to actual people. And then I walked over to, then I walked over to Melanie, who I know from Instagram, and we've been messaging, like excited to meet each other. And I like tapped on her shoulder. And I was like, hi. And like, then we started talking.
Like a first look.
Like, welcomed into the group. Yeah. But after that, everything like.
Did she know other people already?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Like how the first one knew.
But how many people knew other people?
Like,
have they met up before or just like friends?
I don't think anyone has ever. Well, some of them were friends, yeah. So they're like, so what I started kind of realizing were there were a lot of like little like pairs of people that knew each other or friends with each other or whatever.
And everyone's like in different niches and stuff, right? Like it's not all the same.
Yeah. The other thing that I learned is like my management company represents a lot of more traditional creators, bloggers, Instagrammers, YouTubers.
Interesting.
Not as many like TikTok and like new age Instagram. Like a lot of like they've been doing this for a long time and have successful blogs and YouTube channels.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I saw Erin on Demand. I think she's really cool.
Oh yeah, I loved her. She was so nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, like obviously I was very scared and thought I was going to be awkward. But the thing is, everybody was, for the most part, was so nice. And like everybody was doing the same thing. So like if you were standing in a little group of 4, there was always someone new coming in to join the group and like introducing themselves and like asking like, where are you from? And what is your name? And so it was always kind of constantly going like that. So it wasn't awkward at all. And then after that, we went to dinner and we had like assigned seats.
Oh, that's good.
So that was nice.
I loved, did you love that as a child? Did you hate when it was like, okay, you get to choose your seats now? Like on days like that? I hated that because I'd be so scared. Like, what if nobody wants to sit with me?
When I was younger, if I had friends, it would always seem like I was never sitting by my friend. And so then I would just be shy and quiet and not talk to anyone. But also in school, when you didn't have a friend in the class and you just got to pick your own seat, it was like, okay, fuck.
Yeah, like, oh, shit. That's good. That makes it less nerve-wracking at dinner.
Yeah. And I was sitting next to Melanie, so like we started like bonding. And like by the end of the trip, Melanie was my partner.
Your partner.
Like everybody had like a little partner, it seemed like. Or a lot of people had like that one person that they were always kind of with.
Yeah.
So then
was Catherine there?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have so many questions. Like I keep just wanting to interrupt you because I have like a million questions. But
you can.
I was gonna say, do people ask like each other's usernames and stuff? Like when you walk up, like is it like what's your name or like
just name?
Because that'd be a little awkward.
And then like we were all trying to like whenever people would post and tag people or like Iconic Fox was sharing all of our stories. So like then we would all make sure to try to follow each other and stuff.
Smart.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then after dinner, me and Melanie are like, are we going to go out tonight? And I was like, if we're going to go out, we should go out tonight because the next night is the day before we have to fly home. And I'd rather be hungover tomorrow. So a group of like 10 of us decided to go out. One manager, Marguerite, is the newest manager. She's actually from the dog agency.
I
got some information about that. Not a lot. Just like that they have like thousands of creators on their roster. And
makes
it's
sense.
Insane. So yeah, then did we just start walking? We were trying to find like a cool speakeasy and like we couldn't get a table anywhere. So we were literally walking all around downtown Austin. And then we ended up at this place called Cockfight, I think, which had a teeter-totter and like a rooftop bar. And the only guy, Riley, who is from Phoenix, he's gay. He was there with his friends.
He's a chef, right?
So, yeah. So we ended up there
Fun.
with him. Yeah, and it was like so fun, except my feet were torn the fuck up.
It's so that night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looked so cute though.
That's so brutal.
Yeah,
I hated that. Just like walking around and not knowing when you're gonna stop walking.
Yeah,
just, like,
I was like, come on, guys, let's just pick a place.
Yeah,
I just saw this like numbing cream or something that you can put on your feet when you wear heels,
like,
you like don't feel it. It's kind of like that or something. I don't know what the
so you don't feel the blisters that you're creating.
Yeah, they'll still happen probably. Yeah, I think it's so cool that like because you all can bond and like talk about your jobs because the job is the same, but then you're all doing such different things. Like that's so cool to be like talking to a chef and
like these two
the
girls,
differences.
These two girls that were going out with us, they were actually partners in. They do like restaurant and food social media marketing for other people. There was a celebrity that they worked with and I forget.
Like they work with your agency? Like
their own platforms are represented by my agency, but then they also do like social media management, not influencer management for other companies. And then the next day we had like a free day. So I was like, what am I going to do? I'm just going to hang out by myself maybe. And then,
so at that point, is there a group chat?
We had a group chat with the people who went out.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because I was wondering the next day, like, how that goes. I'm like, okay, do I stay in my hotel room? Do I leave the hotel room and then run into somebody in the hallway? Or, like, are we going to be texting?
That is awkward. Yeah. So I hadn't heard from anyone, so I was thinking that I was going to do my own thing that day. And then Melanie texted me, and I thought that Melanie was talking to other people too. So when I go down in the lobby to meet Melanie, I was thinking that there were going to be other people, and it was just Melanie. And I was like so nervous to just hang out with one person all day, just because like you have to always be filling the silences and stuff yourself. And we walked around South Congress, which is like the really cool hip area in Austin, and then went to this really cute taco place. But yeah, that's where I like found the Daisy Jones and the Six book. And so like we were going around. Our plan was to find murals and take pictures and then go to lunch. And it was just so fun working with someone, you know, like having another creator to like find cute spots. And, it was so fun.
And they like know, because I saw you got like B-roll footage and like the pictures and everything. It's so nice to like not really like, you don't have to explain the vision. You can just be like, can you get some B-roll? Can you get like a picture?
Yeah.
And that's really exciting.
Yeah. I literally can't stop smiling. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. And then that day was like a lot, because then after that we went to another happy hour dinner. And honestly, I will say that day I was a little awkward at first. And like I was running late. So like by the time I got down to the lobby, most of the people had already like been taken to the restaurant. And as I was walking out my door, another creator was walking out her door, Kate, who I've talked about. She's like a TikToker. So she's like really cool in my opinion. Like she does like mukbang videos where she eats stuff a lot. And she has like a cult.
Oh my God.
Like, eat a bunch of different things. You're not like a chef or anything. You're just
it's like Japanese, I think, for eating show.
Oh, okay.
Eating stuff.
I've never heard that before.
Oh my God.
Like her followers
it's like one of my favorite video categories. Like you need to get into
call
this.
Her Big Daddy, and she's like, I
love
she
that.
has like
I'm
a
gonna
cult
look
following, I think.
That's pretty cool.
But I think my own insecurity made me feel more awkward around her. I did sit across from her at dinner the previous night, and I got to talk to her, but still I was just like in my head like,
because like she's so cool.
Because I think she's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh my God, what am I like? It was just awkward. And like, then I just kind of felt awkward for a while until like I got to the dinner and got a drink. And found Melanie. I was like, okay, thank God. Like, so that was awkward. And that was like a long night because we had like a long happy hour. We had that big flower wall.
Oh yeah, that was so pretty. Were those real flowers?
I don't know. I didn't get close enough to them. Oh. And then also they were doing permanent bracelets.
Cute. Oh yeah, those are
I was like just feeling too awkward. I just never did it. So some things that I kind of regret, like just.
We could do that in Palm Springs.
How?
That would be fun.
I don't know. There's probably a permanent bracelet place.
Okay, let's look.
I don't know.
But yeah, and then after that dinner, also all of our dinners were like family style. So they would like put a bunch of all of their food in plates to share.
So you would literally pass it around?
Yeah, pretty much. And I think all of us kind of were just not eating as much because of that.
Yeah, you get scared. You don't want to take too much.
Yeah.
Was it kind of like a bowl of something versus like, here's one taco too? Because I always think that's more awkward to like, how much do I portion out for myself?
Yeah. Well, like the second restaurant, there was like elote corn, but then there were like meats, like take a slice of meat, you know, and like salad, take a scoop of salad. The first night there were like kebabs. So you could like take, I don't know. Yeah. So I definitely wasn't eating enough at dinner, honestly.
Dang. Did you get room service?
Just the first day.
Oh, the salad.
Yeah.
Fun.
But yeah, and then me and Melanie had one more drink at the rooftop bar, and then I went to bed and I didn't sleep, and I had so much anxiety the next day because I was flying home. Like
early in the morning
stuff.
or
no, not even that early. And my flight even got delayed until like it was supposed to be at 12:30 and it got delayed to like 1:30. And there was like a group breakfast. It wasn't mandatory or anything, but I didn't go to it because I was so anxious. And I think that's like my biggest regret is not just like getting my ass up and going to the breakfast.
Yeah.
That's okay though.
Yeah.
You did a lot of other things.
Yeah, that's like 1 out of 100
I feel like you
things.
did doing the free day with Melanie was a big step.
Yeah. I also regret not taking a picture with my manager, Sophie, but
Oh.
yeah.
I hate that when you realize after that like you didn't get a picture you wanted or something.
Yeah, because I was like, I
right.
don't need a posed picture. You
Yeah.
know? I just want like content. But then after I'm like, oh, I wish I had a picture with this person. I wish I had a picture with this person just to like remember it by.
I do find that like now we used to be like really good in college and kind of like a few years after college of like taking a picture. We were really good at like
every time we hang out.
Things. And then ever since we like just don't really like I met up with my friend after like not seeing her for 3 years in Nashville. And like we didn't take a picture together. I was like, that's kind of stupid. Like
I think because like social media got so curated with photos.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're just gonna stand there and pose for a picture, why even do it? That's how I am. I feel like
it's also usually when I'm trying to be like more in the moment or whatever. Like when I'm with my family or a friend like that, you're like, oh, I just want to catch up, and then you forget to take the picture. And you're like,
yeah, and it's kind of awkward to be like, let's take a picture.
I know. Well, especially after like what point do you do that? And then after it's been like too late, and then you're like, makeup doesn't look as good.
Yeah, after dinner bloated.
Yeah, because you keep putting it off, and then you're like, okay, well now I look like shit, and the lighting's horrible, and it's dark out, so fuck it.
We used to like literally have like a whole photo shoot in college. I'm just like thinking back to the pictures because we have so many pictures from college.
So many. I was literally saying that to my friend Maddie. I was going through all of our pictures to ask her to be the bridesmaid or a bridesmaid. And like we have a picture from every single time that we hung out, like a photo shoot type picture.
Oh yeah. Like 30 photos.
It's so funny. Okay. ACL. I literally haven't seen anything. You haven't posted one drop of content.
I know.
I need information.
I have to curate the drop. So we almost got a fight with somebody.
Oh shit!
Didn't you have drama last time too?
I don't remember last year. That might have been like a different story that I told just you guys. Completely different.
But I thought it was in Austin. Okay, anyway.
It was in Austin. That's that's an unrelated story. We'll chat about that. But yeah, so my dad was like kneeling on the ground, and we at ACL, like a lot of people just kind of like cram in together. And I used to be that person that would just kind of like meander through the crowd, not really caring like who I was touching, like what I was doing. And now I'm like much more aware of it. And I'm like, that's annoying as fuck to like walk in front of somebody, to like bump them, to like step on their blanket, like all of that stuff. But a lot of people do that at ACL. And so we like set up chairs to kind of like make a little area for ourselves, and it's less likely like people are going to run into us. But my dad was like kneeling next to somebody, like next to his friend's chair, and this guy just like almost topples over him, and he like was like, sorry sir, but like was basically, and then I was like,
was he drunk?
Kind of just like brushed it off like it was no big deal. And my dad kind of got upset, and then the guy turned around and was like, why are you upset? Like, I said sorry. And I was like, no. And I like said something, I was like, that's so disrespectful to do that to somebody. Like, you just toppled over him, and you are acting like it's his fault, or like he should be like just okay with it and forget about it. And he was like, girl, sit down. I was like, talking to my dad, not me. Not me. And I was like,
you called him a girl?
Yeah, he was like, I was like, do not talk to my dad that way. That is so disrespectful.
Was he gay?
Yeah, but like,
was he young? Beat someone up.
Yeah. Oh, my dad was like ready to. He was like, he's like, I would slice you. And I was like, what? Yeah. I was just like, you're so disrespectful. You can't like topple over somebody and then expect them to just be like chill. And like that they should just be over it. Like it's his fault that he's
that
like,
is so crazy.
There. It was just so, I don't know.
He must have been drunk.
Yeah, probably. I was just like, you're
feisty.
So stupid. There's like a lot of people that are just kind of like not in their own head. There's a lot of like young people there, but
yeah.
Do people do a lot of drugs there?
And she was phenomenal.
Oh my god.
I just like, she's a really good performer live.
Yeah.
She made it like really fun. That was really good. Alanis Morissette was like probably my favorite.
Oh, that's so
she
cool.
was like, I mean, I want to go to like her actual concert, and I just want to like have her soundtrack on repeat now.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. She was, and like everybody just like in the crowd was like just jamming along. I think so many people didn't, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really know who she was before. I knew her songs. I didn't know her name.
Crazy.
But that's also not surprising to you guys either.
Not surprising.
I'm surprised.
But like I know her songs, and that's why I think like she, like anybody who was just kind of like around was like, oh my god, because then everyone was just like very into the music and stuff. We actually only ended up going on Saturday, but
I was gonna ask if you saw Suki.
Fun. What?
I was gonna ask if you saw Suki.
No, we didn't. I don't even think we were there.
Yeah, she was on Sunday.
Yeah, we didn't even go on Sunday.
What'd you do at the lake? See, our next trip should be to Austin.
Yeah.
Because I love it so much.
I love
everything. That's so weird that we were both in Austin, honestly.
I know. But I was actually at the lake like for most of the time when you were like in Austin.
Where's the lake?
So it's like an hour away from Austin.
Okay.
And so it's like perfect because my dad's like houses and other houses in Austin, and then he has like the lake house. But it's much
Can we
bigger.
Go stay at the lake house then?
Yeah. He would love that.
Damn.
So we can do both. We can like stay a little bit in Austin. We can like go
stay at the Marriott again. See if they'll do a deal with us, and then,
or we could stay at like my dad's house in Austin too.
Oh,
whatever one works. But yeah, there's so many cute hotels in Austin as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the lake is just like so much fun. I think I've always wanted a lake house. Like my friends have had lake houses.
Same.
And I like always loved going to them with them and sleeping there, like hanging out. But it's like so much bigger than his Austin house. So it was much more comfortable for like my sister and her boyfriend were there, or her husband. And then my other sister came, and like everyone had their own beds, and the kitchen is amazing. It's like so massive. And it gave me like a ton of new ideas for like how I want to do our kitchen once we redo it. But and then I got to like learn how to drive the boat, which was really fun. But like my sister,
oh my god, we need to all. This sounds so fun.
It was so fun.
I love
went
lakes.
Tubing, so it was like taking it back to like childhood. Like I don't remember the last time I went tubing, but like it was so much fun. I was just laughing the entire time, like watching like other people tube, because like there's like bouncing up and down. Like adults like bouncing up and down is just so much funnier than like little kids.
I just want to go like 5 miles an hour, please.
I know, same.
I just have a cocktail.
I like a little bump
and just like move a little bit.
That's what my sister, like I was learning how to drive like the boat, because there's a little like canal waterway that you have to go like super slow in.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn how to back out the boat. I had to learn to park the boat. And my sister was just like in the back, like holding on for dear life. And she just kept like making noises. She's like, should you be doing that? Is this right? Like, oh my God, your anxiety is making this so much harder. Because like you know the pressure of driving, and like I don't want to fuck up my dad's boat. Like I'm trying to like do it as easily as I can. So me and Joe took the boat out by ourselves, and that was like so much easier to drive the boat because we weren't like hearing like 5 different voices of like
I bet. Yeah, it's like driving yourself versus driving someone. You're always like worried about each little bump and turn and stop.
And my like middle sister is the worst at it. Like her husband took a picture, and she's just like standing with like her hands on her head, just like back and forth.
That's my sister.
Oh my God,
that was really funny. But it's like a beautiful lake, and just very like there's a little spot to like jump off, and Rosie actually loves swimming in the lake.
Oh, cute.
Which we still like are, you know, she's obviously fine in like a little kiddie pool, like loves that, but she would like jump off the boat. And there's like, another little spot like on a walk, like a loop walk that we can do, that she can like walk into the water. And she was like having the time of her life. I couldn't get her out of the water by the end of it.
Well, she is a golden retriever.
I know, but she wasn't like, you know, exhibiting.
She's finally stepping into her.
I know.
That's cute.
And he has like a big backyard too. So she was able to like just run around and have a good time.
Did she like the boat?
She liked it if we were like on it with her.
Okay.
So like when we were in the water and she wasn't, like she was not chill.
Yeah. That's probably how my dogs would be. That's how they are with paddleboarding. Like if one of us separates at all, they're like not okay.
No. There's like bad situation for sure. I also had to see Melanie while I was there too. Not
fun.
Melanie, but Melanie Demi from her
That's
Boutique
funny.
Nails.
I was gonna
So
ask.
we did like a working day. We got our nails done and then like went to a coffee shop. And
how did you do so much? How many days of driving did
know.
you do?
We were there for like 8 or 10 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, okay. I thought you
know
were saying
what's
that
weird?
most of the
A lot
days
of
were
days.
driving.
We did 2 days were driving.
Okay.
But
You know what's weird about Brittany is because we're content creators and like Devon and Maggie, we're always sharing what we're doing all the time. Like we are lifestyle creators, so we share our lives, and Brittany isn't. So it's weird not knowing everything that Brittany is doing all the time.
Like it's like
I'm
just
trying to figure it
MIA.
out.
Well, you don't have to be that type of creator. It's just different. Like I'm just expectant.
I'm bad at that too on vacation. So like I'm really
Yeah.
bad at that. I usually wait.
But I
till
still
come
know
home.
like when you're leaving and when you get home and like
True.
I just
Yeah,
show
like
up.
Britt, I literally have no fucking idea. It's just she's gone and then one day she's back.
I also find it's hard when I've like been traveling a lot. Like I was gone basically for 2 weeks or more than 2 weeks out of like September.
Mhm.
So it was like just
Yeah.
travel.
That's true.
I'm leaving on Friday for Ann Arbor and I'm getting back Sunday.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
That's so
a lot.
fast.
Yeah.
What are you doing so quickly?
We're going to a Michigan game and I'm meeting up with like my college girlfriends.
Oh, that's fun.
It's gonna be really fun.
Honestly, that's how quick my Austin trip was, and it felt longer. Like it felt like a significant
Yeah.
portion of my month.
Yeah. You did a really good job like making all the content that you did out of the
Yeah,
time.
I don't know how
Honestly,
you did that. That's, like,
I
Yeah.
miss that.
weren't you
It's
like
like
doing a lot? Like wasn't it exhausting to do all of that on top of like everything else?
it was, but I think it was like a high. Like
Yeah.
it reminded me of how much I love content creation, and I feel like travel content creation has got to be addicting because there's just something about always having something to be sharing and doing and
Yeah.
editing. And like
Yeah.
back when I was younger and I first started getting into photography and I was really into traveling, my favorite thing about traveling was like coming home after the day and editing all of my photos. And it felt
Yeah.
kind of like, it felt kind of weird that that was my thing. So I kind of tried to make it like, your vacation shouldn't be about content, but that's what made me so fucking happy. And I stopped
Yeah.
doing that for so long. And like
It's so
this
true.
trip was like,
That's
that spark was
exciting.
reignited, and I'm so excited for Palm Springs
Yeah.
because like we're gonna get to do that again, and it's just like that's
Yeah.
like what I'm meant to do. I feel like I just love
Yeah.
it.
I also feel like the taking pictures more. Like once Reels and
Yes.
TikTok, like I stopped taking pictures so much. And that
Yeah.
used to be
No.
so fun coming home and editing.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the picture aspect because it's so different than like obviously there's so many different things you can play around with video, but
Yeah.
I find pictures a little bit more rewarding.
Yeah, and even using my camera instead of my phone. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
I barely bring out my camera anymore. And my dad gave me one of his old film cameras from like the 80s, and I
That's
really
so
want to like learn how to use it, but I
You
haven't even
should.
freaking opened it. He
You
gave it to
should
me like a
learn
month
before
ago.
Palm Springs.
Mhm.
Oh, I should. I should. I could bring it for sure.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, I have no idea. I feel like you have to experiment and then order the film to see if it even worked out.
Well, you could just bring the film and we could try to figure it out together, maybe.
Yeah, that does suck. Like you don't even know until after you get it developed, and then you have to make changes and then try again and get it developed. Interesting.
That's so funny. Should we get into some questions?
Sure. First, I want to show you guys my dress.
Oh,
Oh my god!
you picked a
when
dress?
did you ordered it, right?
I ordered it. It's in
Send
my
it to us.
it's in
Where'd
my
you-
hidden album.
Find it.
At J Bridal in Tucson. It's a boutique. I went there the first day, and I really thought that I would like dislike dresses more. Like I would try them on and be like, oh, I like hate this, but that didn't
Mhm.
really happen. I kind of like, I was like, oh, this is pretty. Oh, this is pretty. Or like some things I didn't love about them. Like I'd be like one had like really see through like on my whole stomach, and I was like, okay, well, this is a little too see through on my whole
Mhm.
stomach. But overall, like I really liked all of them. And then we went to David's Bridal the next day, and they were like some of them are cute, but it was just like really apparent the quality difference. Like me and my sister, there was like glitter in some of them, and in the dressing room I like went like this and the glitter just like poured off of them.
Gross.
I was like, okay, well, we definitely would not be wanting that. But it kind of gave me clarification that I liked one of the dresses at the first shop.
That's good.
And then I went to lunch with my friends and I asked them all to be bridesmaids, and it was so cute. They cried. It was so fun. And then exciting. The girl texted me from the first dress shop and she was like, you can come back and retry it on, like if you want to confirm. So then I got to go back with my friends and retry it on, and she like brought up just a bunch of different things that I could do to it, like add buttons to the back and like add a push-up bra, padding in the front, and like remove some of the layers and stuff. And it just like made it exactly how I wanted.
This is so pretty.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
Wait, my phone's loading.
I love it so much.
I love it. And it's like perfect with your like theme and everything.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's so pretty.
That is so beautiful. Did you cry?
I did a little bit when I went back with my friends, but I also had like 3 glasses of wine right before. So that could have been the reasoning. But yeah, once I went back with my friends, it was very much more like, oh, I like
this is it
so much, and I can picture it so much. It's
so
just pretty. So much fucking pressure of like deciding a whole year before.
Yeah.
And with this one, she was like, you need to order it this week. Like it takes up to 8 weeks for like the tailoring, but it could take up to 6 or 9 months for it to even ship. And we're at 10 months, about to be 9 months.
Wow.
Are you crazy. Like really late on that one then?
Like it should be fine. She said that we shouldn't need to rush order it, but it is pushing it for sure. It's gonna be a little tight.
Is that the type of veil that you want with it?
I have no idea. They would like put a veil on me occasionally. Like once I liked a dress more, they'd throw a veil on and be like, "Ooh, do you like it more now?"
Yeah.
But I don't know. I tried short ones and I tried long ones. I'm not sure.
You look like a bride.
What I like. It was so weird. And that was weird too, is like because when you like the different styles, it's kind of just choosing how you want to like feel or how you want to look. Because like I tried on really like tight like Hollywood type ones, and I also kind of really liked that, but I was like, I don't think that's how I like envision myself on the actual day.
You look like a princess.
Thanks. I love it so much. Oh my God. Also, I started reading The Fourth Wing, and you guys need to read it.
I almost bought that in Florida.
You should. The sample is really long on Kindle. So if you read the sample, it's like very, very long. It's only like 10% of the book actually, because the book is really long, but you get into it by the end of the sample. And like, I'm just so happy that I like a fantasy and it starts off immediately, because that's what I didn't like about the A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like it felt slow at first. Like it felt which with fantasy you really have to do it slowly, because like you have to build up a whole world and all these characters and everything. But this like starts off really like high intense. It's like about dragons and stuff, and like this girl is like weak and she's like the weakest in her family, but she has to still go to this like camp school type thing. Is she a dragon? No, she's a human. But they like each person gets like assigned a dragon. Like so you're a dragon rider.
Like Game of Thrones ish.
Maybe. I've never seen Game of Thrones.
That one movie with the toothless dragon.
Yeah, kind of like that.
That's like one of the most heartwarming movies ever.
Oh, I know. The second one is really sad.
I've never seen the second one. I heard it was really sad, and then I didn't want to watch it.
The dragon gets like possessed, and
spoiler alert.
Sorry.
It gets possessed. That does not
just
sound
for like a
good.
moment, but something really bad happens. And then it's not his fault, you know?
Yeah.
Is that on Disney Plus?
I don't know, but you guys should watch it.
Yeah, I've never seen the second one.
I need to see the first one again.
Okay, let's answer a couple questions. We haven't seen each other in a long time.
I know.
You know.
We had a lot of life
Just be, like,
updates.
a catch-up episode.
Imagine if you guys were on my trip with me.
That would be so fun. Except it'd be bad, probably. Like, it was good that we weren't for you.
Yeah. But
We would have
still
clung together.
Yeah, but everybody was still clinging to people.
That's funny. Do you want me to pull up the questions, or do you have them up?
I have them.
Okie dokie.
But they're long. They're long. Oh, here's a good one. I don't think we've done this one, but let me know if we have. Okay. I recently got a 12-week corgi puppy, and I'm struggling with puppy blues. I feel like I've made a terrible mistake. I researched a lot on the breed beforehand, but the reality of it is so much harder than what I was anticipating. I wake up every morning with complete dread and don't know what to do. I feel like a terrible person. Help.
Damn, don't that be true that when you feel like you do all the research and it's like still worse than you imagined it would be?
Fuck.
I think if you can get help from a trainer, that makes a massive difference. The other thing I didn't realize when getting a puppy is like they can have alone time, and it's like good for them to have that sort of structure. So you can like put more structure into your day where you have like breaks from them.
Also, I wonder, I didn't have puppy blues, but I wonder if it's like similar to postpartum where it's like it's a phase and your brain is like dumping depressive thoughts into you, you know, like
yeah,
you're just having these emotions that are not really like grounded in reality, you know, and you're just like,
yeah. I definitely had a bout of puppy blues because Rosie was a hard fucking puppy. Like, she just like shit all the time, and like in the middle of the night for like months on end for like when she was a puppy. So we'd have to get up at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And so there's a lot of like other things that added to it, like not being able to sleep properly.
yeah. And like for me, I definitely felt like, oh shit, I just changed my whole life. I'm never going to be able to do A, B, or C again. And especially when Willow was a puppy, she would just like sit on the ground and bark at me.
Yeah.
Because she wanted my attention. And I'd be like, I just want to watch TV.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to be able to watch TV again.
Yeah.
And so I had those thoughts. But I mean, I feel like you have to kind of stick it out because it'll get better.
Yeah, puppy blues are like a legit thing. I think I have a blog post on it, or at least a few posts on it. But it definitely goes away for sure. Like, it is similar to postpartum of having an actual baby, in that your hormones do slightly change when you get a puppy. But then also, like Britt was saying, like you're lacking sleep. You're like, if you're not taking care of yourself and your other basic needs, then like your mental health will not be as good while you're trying to then take care of the puppy, and everything just feels like it's going wrong 24/7. But once you get a trainer and like having boundaries and all of that, and just them turning 2 or 3
and getting into a routine and just getting adjusted to it, because I also get depressed during big life changes. So like every time when school would end and summer would start and I didn't have like my routine anymore, I would like fall into this depression. And like, this is a huge life change that you made, and it's probably like a legitimate like depressive state that you're going through.
Yeah, for sure.
But it won't be forever.
The problem is like, I think, I don't know, like when you talk about training and then it's like, oh, you figure it out and then it's solved. Like we still have all the behavioral issues, and I notice that I go crazy when I don't have the structure with them. Like it still happens forever. It's just that like you have to maintain it. Like Finley's been really, really bad with the squirrels lately, like full barking 24/7. He sees squirrels everywhere and like will not stop barking. And I was like, oh, I should message our trainer and ask her about that. But like, I know what she'll say. I know that she'll say to like not give him access to even see the squirrels, to have treats on me all the time and reward him when he's acting good. Like you always know kind of what you're supposed to do once you work with a trainer. And then it's more like figuring out your own self rather than like training the dog. It's like training yourself.
Yeah, maybe what she should do is kind of figure out what is making her feel regretful.
Yeah.
Like, what are the stress points? What are the things that are like really upsetting her, or the behavior, or whatever it is? Like, figure it out, write it down, and then see what you can do to make that better.
Yeah, for me, I was definitely letting Finn just out of his crate too much. Like you were saying, Britt,
Yeah.
like I did not, like I'd try to work with him just out and I'd be like going crazy. Like you can't do that.
And we just thought that like, we would just like let her have free roam of everything.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't really like a chewing puppy. So she like wasn't chewing our couch or like cords or anything. And so.
Yeah, but it's like they sleep like what, like 20 hours a day, 22 hours a day.
So much.
I'm really big into the playpens.
Yes, I loved having a playpen.
Throw them in a playpen.
That is very helpful to have. Should I read the sister-in-law one?
Sure.
That apparently only I can see.
Yeah.
Okay. My sister-in-law inherited several millions of dollars, and she is married to my husband's brother with 2 kids, our nephews. And I just have no idea what our life is going to be like moving forward around them. I'm so happy for them, and I'm just watching in awe as they build their Barbie dream house. When we hang out, my husband and I try to offer to pay for stuff, and sometimes they let us, but they also have way more money than they know what to do with. I'm growing very envious. They're very giving people and have already donated so much. I just don't know how to stay relatable or be there for their family. And like, what do you even buy them for gifts? I'm also curious how their kids are going to grow up. I've been around wealthy people obviously before, but this is unmeasurable in its immediate family. I'm so grateful that they're such nice people, but I have to work on not being awkward in my feelings because I'm constantly like, oh, if we had that money, we would do this, etc. Oh, I wish we had that. It would solve a lot of problems, XYZ.
You know,
that
it would
is
be a
crazy.
great bonding opportunity for this family. The rich ones should be the one that plans the like extravagant vacations where they can all go for a week to like, you know, Turks and Caicos or like Park City.
Great plan.
That is where they're going to be useful in the family, I think.
Yeah, that'll probably make them feel like shit though.
I want a wealthy relative to plan vacations. Like Chelsea Handler always takes her family on her like extravagant vacations, and she's paying for everything. Like,
did you know that Seth Rogen pays for like his entire family? Like his dad, like when he was 16, like his dad and mom stopped working, they lost their jobs, and Seth Rogen started like supporting his family and still supports them to this day.
Wow. So many celebrities do that.
Yeah,
it's so interesting. But 16 years old, like not
that's
like
crazy.
Who grew up. So that's a sidebar.
Wait, Seth Rogen was at one of the barbecue places that some of the girls went.
What the heck?
He was sitting at the table next to them. Yeah.
Damn,
that's so cool.
Too bad you weren't there.
I know. It was the group that I went out with the night before.
Damn.
That's so fun. But back to this question, I feel like there's 2 different sides of it where it's like the feelings and emotions of like, what would we do? Like the envious pieces of it. I feel like that's very natural because it's like so close to you to be like, oh, if we had
that would be crazy. Like I'm trying to imagine that.
Yeah, I think those are like very normal feelings. But it's also like, how can you feel those feelings, but then also just like continue to be grateful and present in like your own life circumstances as well, and like practicing both of those things.
Yeah, that's really hard because like the people that you surround yourself with are like who you look to for like what you should be doing or what you should have. And like I remember growing up around wealthy kids, I was always like, well, I need these Miss Me jeans and I need all the Abercrombie clothes and Juicy Couture and stuff. So it's really hard when it's literally like your family member.
Yeah, it is. The other thing I was thinking of too that stood out to me about her question was just like, how do you relate to them and like how do you like support them and what do you buy them for gifts? I think if you like kind of go back to the basics of just like, even if you have money, you still need people who give a shit about you. Like you can be like your family, so you can like actually care about them in a way that other people might not be able to, and like asking about how they actually are and not just like superficial surface level stuff, which like I imagine that they might start getting more and more of. And just being like thoughtful and asking questions about them and like remembering, because even like if you find something that's super helpful for you or like I'm trying to think of an example. Like my dad didn't have like a lint trap for his laundry room. And so she just like bought him the little like lint thing
Yeah.
to the side of the laundry
Thoughtful
bin. And it's like
gifts.
not like a big deal, but it was just like a nice little thing that she did to make his life easier. So I think there's like little gifts like that where, or just like remembering things they say in passing, like, oh, I love this sort of book, and then you finding a similar book to that and giving it
or
to
if
them
they
would mean
like a
lot to
bottle of
them.
wine or something that's not an
Yeah.
expensive bottle of wine.
Sentimental gifts are the best anyways, like regardless of if people have money or not.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, they're human. They want to connect with you as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, this is
keeping
just
that
so
in mind.
interesting. Like I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
also from their side of things. Like I'm trying to imagine if like Cameron's brother just got like $20 million. Like that would be so weird because obviously you'd be like, oh, if we could just have 100,000 of that, that would be so helpful. And then like you are also so helpful, like so happy for them at the same time. That'd be really hard to like process. But
Honestly,
then from
maybe
their
just
side,
like having a bottle of wine and like talking about it and getting those insecurities out in the open.
yeah, that would be, it helps
Get it
when you
out
just
there.
open up. Yeah.
Understand
then
how everybody's feeling, and then you'll be like, oh, they feel the same way, you know?
Yeah, because it's probably really weird on their end too. Like it's probably extremely awkward, and then they have to figure out like, oh, to make us good people, how much are we needing to donate? How much are we needing to share with our family versus helping out ourselves? Like that's pretty hard. On Doc Shepard's podcast, he was talking about paying for dinners and things like that for people, and like how just sometimes the like his mom or other family like needs to pay for it in a sense to just make them feel better. So like I think when it comes to paying dinner, you can really let them pay unless it helps you. Like if it makes you feel better to pay occasionally, then do that. But like I'm sure overall they're fine paying, and they actually mean that.
It'll be hard probably raising kids together. Like, you know, when cousins grow up together and like
they have all
some
this
of your
stuff.
cousins are like, yeah, you kind of have to like think about it like, well, but you get to go hang out with your cousins and do these things with them because they have money.
Yeah.
You know, like appreciating it, but also trying to like be grounded and appreciate what you have.
Oh, that'd be so hard.
I know. But money doesn't buy happiness.
No, that's what I'm saying is like they're still probably experiencing all the same problems, and they're probably having new problems now. That
Exactly.
they
You
never
have new
before.
problems. Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
This one says, what do you do when so many friends are traveling? It feels like constantly, but it's just not your thing. I'm more of a homebody, and lately it feels like something is wrong with me because I'm not planning week-long trips abroad. I do travel somewhat regularly, but nothing ever feels like enough. I just feel so much pressure to travel. This is interesting because I feel like there is not like pressure to travel, but like kind of like when you're young, everyone's like, make sure you see the world and everything before you settle down. Like, you need to see all these things.
I think it's romanticized. Like people make it like this like goal, and if it's not something that's like in your immediate like checklist, then people are like, what do you mean you don't want to travel? Like there's a lot of things that go into traveling and planning travel, and I think it's very understandable that you wouldn't want to necessarily travel.
This is something that I've really been working on this year because I feel like society tells you so much of what you need to be doing to have a fulfilling life. And travel is one of them. Going out all the time, being an extrovert, moving up the ladder at your job. And this year I've been like really trying to focus on what actually makes me happy. And I like being home. Like, yeah, travel every once in a while is fun, but like just reminding myself that like I actually prefer to stay home, and that's okay. It's hard. But my cousin, you guys know I talk about all the time, is always traveling, and it makes me feel like kind of crappy too that I am not always traveling and seeing the world, and like I wouldn't go with her because I have so much anxiety about it.
Yeah. But she I think loves it. Like
I
so
think
much joy out of it.
You don't have to love it. Yeah.
It goes back to the same of moving away from home too. It's like some people just have that like travel bug or want to get away, and some people just like are very comfortable and want to stay where they are, and that they're both equally fine.
Yeah. And I think it's unfortunately like if this is your group of good friends, like this might be the start of growing apart. And
Slightly,
it doesn't
yeah.
mean that you can't still be friends, but like their life is different than yours. They're doing different things.
Yeah.
And
maybe it's also like you just said, it's a time to like reflect back on what you are doing and like, are you actually doing the things that you enjoy? And could you be doing more of those? Like, are you just sitting in your house and not actually like just comparing yourself to that other person and like binge watching TV? Like, or would you rather be like going on hikes or like, you know, going to coffee shops or trying new restaurants or other things like that and adding that more into your schedule?
Yeah. But if you don't like doing those things, that's okay too. Like if you literally enjoy staying at home, that's okay too.
I feel like confused with that though sometimes, because like sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't like doing this thing, but then also sometimes when I make myself do it, then I'm like, oh, that was so fun and I do enjoy that. But once I haven't done it for a while, then I convince myself that I don't like it. So it's like kind of hard in your brain. You have to like, am I lying to myself or not?
A lot of times anxiety holds me back from things as well.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, I don't like traveling, but it's actually like, no, it's just like very hard on my brain and body.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like it. Or like, yeah.
Because like you used to like traveling.
Yeah. I think journal.
Yeah, work out your feelings. See what comes on
Joe
paper.
hates whenever I'm like
journal.
It's like, fuck you.
Really?
Yeah. But then we both like realize it's good for us and we need it. But sometimes I have to just be like, okay, thank you for sharing your feelings.
It really does help so much.
That is really hard, but just know that like this is common. A lot of people go through this, and like really try to sit with what you want out of life.
Yeah, and then find friends that do those same things once you realize what you want.
Or just learn to love to do it by yourself too. Like, you know, it's easier said than done to just find new friends, but like still to love what you love and not have the pressure of outside sources telling you what you should enjoy doing. Learn to love being with yourself and working towards what your life should look like, how you want it to look like. Okay, guys, we had a lot to catch up on this episode, so we only got through a few questions, but we will save them all for next time. And you can always find our Google form in our bio on Instagram or on our Facebook community, in our Facebook community, and leave a question, and then we'll have it next time we do a Q&A. Finley, literally why? He's on my desk. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and leave us a rate and review wherever you listen to podcasts, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.